Okay, everyone, welcome to this weekend's weekly study session. Going to take a look at individual stocks. I'm actually not going to do a general market video, although I'll talk about the general market here and let you know that the models are all the same. So we're still on red as far as the STEM model is concerned. The long-term trend models bullish, but again, we are still in what looks like to be just a downtrend, or rallies within an ongoing bear market and downtrend. It's possible that we made the lows here. We do have some indications that we had some good action off the lows in the indexes. Of course, the Dow has been the leader to the upside here and holding above that 200-day. And who knows, maybe it moves up further here and we get some more action in the indexes. The Dow, of course, is only 30 stocks price weighted. S&P 500 stocks capitalization weighted, and that's just getting near the 200-day moving average, so still well within a downtrend here. So again, I want to look at the individual stocks. There's not a lot of names setting up. There's a handful, but we just have not got the type of traction that we would want to see from individual names. Just going back to last week, ENPH coming out of this base here. Of course, again, this is certainly an area where we would expect, if it's going to stall out, we want to get through here. I thought we would get going here. Took a position as we started moving out, but stalled once again, where we reversed Friday here, right over here. So again, that is the formidable level, that 320-ish level to get through. I'm hoping we can just stay tight here and maybe tighten up a bit, and then get a stage of reversal recovery. Of course, the solar stocks have been, well, in particular, ENPH and FSLR. Solar group itself isn't nearly as strong as just a few of the names in this group. FSLR, I also took a half position. Now, this one, it's acting really well, and it's one of the strongest stocks in the market right now as far as its price action, relative strength. So I was looking to get on board over here, but we were coming into earnings. We had a very short little pivot here from that cheat area after a reset. So I got away from me, and now I'm just trying to get up here. I remember someone did ask, sent a message in and asked if this was a FOMO trade. I never succumb to FOMO. I don't have any fear of missing out whatsoever. I'm making decisions based on stocks that are acting the best, and that I want to get on board, and they have to be coming out from a pivot. This pulled back right after that outside day, tried to come out on Wednesday, then Thursday had that outside day, was following through. It looked like the solar stocks were going to try to make a move here, with ENPH also moving out, and but still stalling here. So we'll see where that goes. MNST, of course, we're up about 1% or so. Let me take this out. You can see this a little better. Still tightening up here. This is still acting fine. Again, forming this pivot on the right side. I bought it a couple of days back here, and now Friday was a decent day. Obviously, the best performing stock that we have is the IMVT, which I took a little off here to finance it, and now it's going higher, with about 18% on that. And then, of course, we got LLY, Lilly, up about 9.5%, 10% that we've been holding for a little while. REGN is sort of just bouncing around here, as well as TXRH, Texas Roadhouse, which I like to see these get going here and take out the highs, of course. Let's take a look at what is potentially on focus list, or what we can maybe look for some names. Let me just put it in alphabetical order. So ADM, I put a buy stop on it a couple of days in a row, and this is a big cup with handle here. Yeah, pretty. Let's see, what's the depth of this? Yeah, it looks pretty deep, but actually this is about 28-29%. It's pretty shallow, considering of how it looks and the big move that it made. So this is definitely viable here. I'll look to buy this again if we can. Hopefully, I would love to see us open up quietly and then take out these highs. I might start buying it above the 95.70, but I would certainly go above like 96.08 to 96.20. Let's see what else. BTU. Now, again, this is another one where you got this big base, and you're tightening up on this right side pretty nicely. But I'd like to see it a little bit tighter. This may not be ready just yet, but we're getting close here. CVI, another one, big base here. You got the undercut of the low here, which that created this double bottom. You shook out the low. That's a nice little shakeout, because once it shakes out the low just for a couple days, boom, it comes ripping right back. That's exactly what you want to see when you shake out a low. And now we're tightening up on the right side. You had a good close on Friday. This is one that, if it opens inside tomorrow, maybe that's one that I would start as it coming through the pullback buy, and then follow up on that if it can get itself coming out of that base and breaking out. Let's see what else. DG, again, pretty good size base here after a big volatile period over here, tightened up over here as a reset since then. I think I'd like to see it get a little bit tighter, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. DGII, of course, I've been trying to get on this and trade this. It's acting well and it keeps moving higher, but it's just some wide swings back and forth. One worth watching. ENPH, of course, as I mentioned, this is one that, again, I might be early on this, and maybe if you haven't acted on it yet, you'll get a chance where this will tighten up even more and then come out and take out these highs around that 320 level. And then you can buy it there. Or if you have already traded it with me, if it tightens up more and it comes out, if you're on a smaller position, you can add to it. GFF was up almost 8.75, almost 9% on Friday. It did come out nice. You had this shakeout right here, good close, and then took off. I'm going to keep an eye on that, but that's one that's a little extended right now, so I'm not necessarily going to run into that. This MAC, of course, real tight here. Just super tight after some news here about one of its drugs. Keeping an eye on this for a potential power play. I talked about MNST, PRCT. Again, trying to form a pivot here. You definitely got some supply here, but not much above this level. You just come across here. It's only traded about 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 days, maybe 6 days above that level, and only closed above it on like 3 occasions. So this is, I think this is worth taking a look at and potentially buying this above this 47-ish area. PRTA, another one that has whipped around a bit here. Potential power play, of course, but never got going. Now still forming this right side. You may get a pullback buy set up here, which is starting to set up already. And I would only start a position there. I don't think I would get too aggressive. And then if it can tighten up and come out and clear that supply up at the higher highs, I'd maybe move in from there to move the position up. T-Mobile, I've been wanting to get on T-Mobile because they're eating Verizon's lunch here. Verizon is having some missteps, and if you see the earnings, Verizon's earnings are down. T-Mobile's are up pretty nicely this last quarter, although sales are not. There's no sales, and so I guess it's margin improvement. But they're certainly getting, I think, some Verizon customers because Verizon's networks have been getting overloaded. At least that's what I'm hearing. Again, this moved up on earnings and ran right up the right side. I'm trying to get a pivot here, some type of pullback buy here to buy it. On Friday, it gapped up. I was hoping it would be a little quieter and stay inside and give me a chance to buy it, but maybe it just needs a little more time. But I am trying to get myself on that T-Mobile. This AEHR is another one that I like to get on, but it's pretty wide. If you measure this, the moves are really wide. So I'm trying to wait for some tightness. Plus, you can see the long-term trend just started to turn up. The 200-day, you're not in a confirmed uptrend yet. So it still may be early, but I know some, like I've said in several weeks prior, there's some good fundamental underpinnings on this company. AKRO, had some questions on this one. Here was your first buy opportunity. Yes, I think this could be one that we may get another chance here. So we're going to watch how this forms here, this pivot. If it can stay tight, stay quiet, then come out from there, that might be one. ALNY is another one where you got this big base forming this, trying to form a cheat here. I'd like to see that tighten up a bit more. And that might be one that I'll look at here. Let's see, AMPX. This is that really deep. This is what some of the members shared this one, or one particular member still forming this right side, really deep. This would only be tradable, in my opinion. So there's not really, like I said, there's not a ton of names. HEI gapped up on Friday, still needs some time to maybe tighten up over here. Something like KRTX is another one. Really tight over here on this right side, tightening up, couple reversals right there. I like to see it get tight right there and then take out that double reversal, which is around 237.34 or so. Let's see what else. Just going, I'm on my on deck names now. KRYS, another one forming this right side, maybe a little tighter, and that might be one that we can be interested in. PCVX, yeah, this had that shakeout, which was acting really well. But this is sort of the theme where you're getting a lot of these power plays and a lot of setups in general, and then they try to emerge and then they shake out, and there's just no bids there. But I wouldn't take my eye off these. Stay with them, and they might just be early, and it needs more time. That's something that happens in a bear market, where usually it happens when the market's going to lower lows. Stock tries to set up, come out, then the market comes in and it pulls the stock back, but it stays within the base. And then subsequent to that, they break out on the next attempt up. In this instance, the market's been doing well, and we've seen a rotation here, it looks like, out of some of the growth areas and maybe some of the areas that were performing before, but definitely one I would still keep an eye on. This one here, this TH, which is Target Hospitality, I drew in, I guess, last week or so, or a couple of weeks ago, what I wanted to see here going forward. Let's just pull this out right now. Take a look. It's trying to grow into that, but it looks like you still might need some more right side development there. What else? TMDX, that gapped up, high handle. VRTX, one also, again, the one I'm trying to get on board, but look at this volatility. You've been getting these shakeouts, and just looks really, the way it's been trading here, where it should be quiet, it's trading real thin. And the volume's not quieting way down. So again, it looks like there's some supply there. And finally, XLE, this looks like a lot of these oil names where you're getting these big bases. So if you bought it over here, this is where we originally bought it. I sold it since then, but we got a good trade out of it. But now, as you form this right side, you may form a big couple handle, get another opportunity, or maybe play the pullback buy. It's been acting really well. And there's a lot of names that are set up here. So I think if this fails and you start seeing these stocks fail, that could be ominous for the group. But right now, so far, it's holding up pretty good. So that may be something that you can consider here. I think there's a chance that these energy names and oil names have a bigger lifespan than maybe some of the previous cyclical moves that they've made. And this one, while it may not be a huge secular move, could be something that is, like I said, has a little more legs than your average cyclical move in the oil names. That's usually more short-lived. Let's see. I guess that's about it. Again, we have live trading tomorrow for Master Trader Program. It's the last day, the 5th day of the Master Trader Program. So I'll be knee deep in that all day, and we'll be doing tutorials on MarketSmith and so forth, and hopefully trading some stocks live. So Tuesday, we'll be doing the Q&A, normal time, 11:30 a.m. with myself, Mark Ritchie, and Bob Weissman. So we will not have Q&A tomorrow. Like I said, as far as the general market's concerned, there wasn't really much to do. Kind of came at the right time when I'm busy with the Master Trader Program weekend, but not everything's pretty much the same. There wasn't a whole lot to say. Interest rate environment, everything is really the same. Inflation, I think we're dependent on the inflation numbers and the interest rate movements that will be a result of those inflation numbers. I think all eyes are now just focused on inflation, and then also deflation, to see if we're going to get a recession, and if it's going to be, we might shift from inflation worries to recession worries, and then if it does looks like we're not going to get a soft landing, how hard is that recession? Because if we get a recession, a real, and again, I'm not sure what we're going to use as a determination, because we already got a couple of quarters of negative GDP. So in my opinion, we're already went into recession, and I think we should start counting from there as far as how long the market bottoms subsequent to a recession, because usually you make your low after, when you're in a recessionary bear market, the market makes its low after the recession starts. So again, we may be along that way already, because you have to go back to those 2 quarters of negative GDP. So I'm not sure if, where we're going to set that starting point in the goalpost, if you will. But anyway, with that said, I think the worries could shift from inflation worries to recession worries, and that could maybe make us back and fill here. Although if inflation, if the things are tempered and are moderate, and you're not seeing a big swing in the inflation numbers, you may have bottomed here, and maybe the indexes run up here, and it takes a little time before we get setups in the stocks. Bottom line is just wait for the stock setups. We're going to get them. We're probably in the 7th inning here, even if we're looking at a deeper recession. We're a good ways down the road here as far as a year. It's a year since we had the sell signal and the NASDAQ topped. So, average bear market, is a year, maybe, longer bear markets, a year and a half or so. We're right there. We're right at the point where we got to start looking for leaders and be ready and ready to act. All right. So talk to you guys later. Let's talk to you on Tuesday for a Q&A, and hope this has been helpful. Let's see if we can find some stocks on tomorrow, but be careful because still we don't have much traction. So I wouldn't get aggressive in any way here just yet. All right. Bye-bye.